Franchise versus licensing. I'm Joe Danini, an attorney, and today we're going to discuss the differences between franchise and licensing. In this segment, we're going to talk about, do you want to grow your business? If you do, there are several ways you can do that. Two common ways, though, are through franchising and licensing. Franchising and licensing have a lot of commonalities, but they're very different. Licensing, much less regulated. Licensing can be effectuated by just using a private contract, whereas franchising, you have to get regulated. You are regulated, so you have to be in compliance. With franchising, you're going to register with the state. There are 15 states in the U.S. that require you to register your franchise offering with what's called a franchise disclosure document, and a bunch of related exhibits, including 23 items that are in that document. Whereas with licensing, it's just a private contract. You're going to address things such as how much, in other words, how much are you charging for someone to purchase the rights to use your product or services, for how long, in what area, and what other items are involved in the scope of using your product or service. Now, as between a franchise and a license system, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of commonalities, two to be exact. You're letting people use your brand name, your trademark, in exchange for a fee. You're also allowing people to pay you for the rights to use your product or service. But the third element, which is where the difference is it with respect to control. In a franchise system, you absolutely have the right to control the product or service that you're offering and how your potential franchisee is using that product or service. Whereas in a license agreement, you absolutely cannot control, because if you do, the consequence is you become a franchise system. A lot of people will choose a license system to grow their business because it is cheaper legally in terms of legal fees and costs involved with creating the documentation to put a license system into existence. Whereas with the franchise system, the cost is a lot greater and there's a lot more work involved because of the regulatory compliance to protect investors from the investment that they'd be making as your new franchisee. So when you're evaluating what method you really want to use, a license or a franchise, it really makes sense for you to sit down and look at your long-term goals so that you can decide if you really need that control element. You might want to start from the beginning by investing in a franchise system. A franchise system will be totally different from your underlying business model. That is a separate business whereby you will be offering your franchisees the opportunity to be serviced by you in sharing the business methodology that you've created with your products and services wherever you choose to do them. So by proper planning and by thinking this through, you can position your business to take it to where you want to be.